Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Just Angelica J. I'm Angelica. It has been a while, and if you stick around to the end of the video, I will give you a life update and kind of answer questions on why I have not been posting as frequently. Okay, story time. So I'm going to take you back to like the late 1980s, and we had just moved into this neighborhood. We moved in during the summer, so we had a chance to kind of like meet the neighbor kids. And when the school year started, we would walk to school. Myself and my sisters would walk to school with one of the neighborhood kids. Like, she lived 2 houses down from us. I don't remember this happening like on the first day of school, but I remember as the school year progressed, there was one day where I was walking with her, and I don't know why it was just me that day. I cannot remember why, because it was always me and my sisters and her walking to school. There was a couple of houses on our street that were like old. One looked sort of like run down, no one lived there. And then there was another one that just always looked vacant, no lights, just, you know, not taken care of. You can tell it was just kind of like an abandoned house. In this particular neighborhood, it wasn't the best of neighborhoods. So I remember we were walking to school and we passed by this house that we passed by all the time. It's on our neighborhood street. And she waved to the house. And I thought, oh, well, what was that? And I remember looking at the house, and she goes, oh, the grandma and her cat moved in. And I go, huh? So I looked, nothing looked different. There was no car, just no life in this house. But I just thought, okay, come on. You're just, I thought she was playing a trick on me, or like kind of joking about it, like, ooh, spooky. So I kind of like laughed at it. She goes, what are you laughing at? And I go, oh, I thought you were just, trying to spook me, like kind of be, tell a scary story or something. She goes, no. We kept on walking. I just kind of clocked that in my mind going, very strange. Okay. But I'm the type of person that I don't want to think about it. I'm just like, okay, I'll push that in the back of my mind. I don't want to think about it. So we go to school. So on the way back to school, me and this neighbor friend, we passed by same street, passing the house, and I put it out of my mind. My attention span was short as a kid, I guess, and I just didn't think about it, that she waved to this house, and we pass it again. She waves, and she goes, oh, look, see? She's there. Look at the window. And so I look at the window again, nothing. And I'm really going like, there's nothing there. And I kept telling her, I go, what do you see? There's nothing there. And I really was kind of getting freaked out. So I didn't want to stop. We just kept on, walking by. And she goes, how come you don't believe me? There's a grandma there, and she has an orange cat. And I go, I don't see it. I don't know what you're talking about. So again, I didn't stop to investigate. I just kept walking by. So she did this very thing. By the next day that she did this, I just was like, maybe this is, I don't know. I don't know why I didn't question this. I just sort of was like, let's just get to school, kind of like ignoring the fact that she really would just wave to this house. But then there was this one day, it was a weekend, and I remember we went to her house to go play, as we always did, but she goes, oh, I can't play today because I got to go sell Girl Scout cookies. So I thought, okay, well, I'll walk with you and your mom to sell Girl Scout cookies. Like, it's just up and down the street. And so we go up and down the street, and she stopped by a lot of neighbors' houses or whatever. But then she tells her mom, oh, mommy, let's go by this house. There's a grandma there with an orange cat. She's really nice. She always waves to us. And she threw me into the mix. She's like, oh, and she waves to us in the morning. And her mom's like, okay. I just couldn't speak up. I was like, whoa. She doesn't wave to me. Like, I've never seen her. But again, I'm a kid. I was just like, you know what? And part of me was thinking, okay, so let's go to this house. We have an adult with us. So I did not want to walk through the little gate of this house to go up to the front door. So I just stayed by the gate. And I remember her mom's like, well, what's going on? I go, no, I'll wait right here. You do. She's like, okay. And I remember hearing the mom going, is anybody living here? And I'm thinking like, no, I don't think anyone lives there. So they knock on the door, and the little girl's standing there. And she's like, oh, I think I hear her. And the mom's like, and I can hear her mom saying, I don't think anyone lives here. She goes, let's go. And she's like, Mom, just wait. I know she's going to come to the door. I see her every morning. And the mom's like, well, let's come back. Let's come back on our way back. Let's keep going up down the street. As soon as the mom turned to walk down the little front porch stairs, the door opened and my friend is full on having a conversation to nothing. And it freaked the mom out. She grabbed her. And the little girl's like, she was there. You didn't see her? When I tell you, I literally was like,
bye. I think I gotta go home now.
I just remember the look on the mother's face. And the little girl was adamant. She was right there. She'll buy the cookies, Mom. She's so nice. I had to walk this way past the house to school. When I tell you, and there was no other way around it. Like, that was just the way on our street. There was no way to like, let's take the other way. No, you had to pass by this house to get to the school. Every day that I had to pass by that house, I would just cross the street and I wouldn't look at that house. And there were days where I did still walk with her to school and she would wave every day to that house. Every day to that house. And some days she would try to convince me and she realized it spooked me. And I didn't know how to tell her, like, I think you can see a ghost. I think maybe it's a ghost. I didn't want to acknowledge that. But the reason why I bring up this story is because I think when we look online, and look at stories like, look what happened, or you hear people tell stories and people are like, oh, come on. I mean, I have witnessed, again, I don't mean to like keep going back to this. I have seen a ghost myself. Thankfully, I have not seen another since. I don't want to see another. But when I think back when I was a kid, I really didn't believe her. And I kind of thought like, why is she like, my mind right away didn't think like ghost. I just thought, maybe she's making up a story. But when the adult was there and kind of freaked out, it sort of like sunk in me as a kid. I was like, oh my gosh, maybe she can see stuff. And don't even ask me what happened to this little girl. By the next school year, we weren't even in the same class. And I think mid-year, I want to say that's when we moved out of the Houston area briefly. So if you're out there and you remember this story, I mean, do you still see ghosts? I don't know. But I will never forget in that moment how I kind of was just, it kind of went from like, oh, come on, it's a joke, you're lying. And then you just kind of go, okay, maybe she does see something. Let me ignore it. And I think it's just an interesting thought process that I remember when I was a kid, because we do that as adults. You know how people say seeing is believing, but a lot of us, we don't want to see it and we don't want to believe it because it's just such a scary thought of people being able to see ghosts, communicate with ghosts, or spiritual entities, things of that nature. So let me know in the comment section down below if you have ever witnessed someone in this situation, or you yourself have seen ghosts and no one believed you, because I kind of feel bad now. Of course, I was a kid. I mean, right away when you tell spooky stories to a kid, a lot of kids are like, oh, I don't want to know. That's too scary. But passing by that house, I knew it was an abandoned house. Everyone with two eyeballs could see that. But she would wave like as if someone was waving to her every day. And she said, it's the old grandma with the orange cat. I don't know. So I haven't been posting frequently on this channel because a lot of stuff has been happening in my personal life. There's two main reasons. But the first one, stemming from last year, I had to help my sister out. She landed herself in the hospital, and, you got to help your relatives out sometimes with stuff. So recently, this has been about 2 weeks ago, I had a very close relative pass away. She was my elderly aunt, and we have kind of been banding together as a family, trying to navigate the whole process of her passing when she was in hospice and things like that. So that has had me occupied on a personal front, along with, other personal things, just daily life with my husband and kids. Now, the second main reason outside of personal family stuff is that some of you probably follow me on other social media platforms. On another social media platform, I don't know if I could say this, on the Clock app, I did a live and I let some of the people know that I was writing a book. So there's that. I am writing chapter 18 of a fictional dark romance book. and I hope to publish sometime this year. So I have been on a deadline, getting the final rough draft in order. I'm going to have to edit that and just go through the book process of self-publishing this. So it has occupied a lot of my creative time. So other than maintaining like my other main YouTube channel, this one, unfortunately, just kind of like I can only put myself in so many places at, one time. So the book project has been in the works since last year, and now I'm kind of like in the home stretch. So it requires a lot more of my extra time. I'm excited. And for those of you that follow me here, at some point, I am going to publish this under a pen name. And you're probably thinking, well, why are you telling us we know your name? But because it's its own thing. And I am going to have to start, kind of talking about that and doing that. And I don't know if I should talk about the book here, which I think it would be smart to just have that its own thing. So I'm probably going to be starting another social media type page for that. And at some point I will make an announcement when all this goes, when all this kind of gets published and it's in the final stretch. And, for those of you interested in that type of stuff, you can join me over there. But I will keep posting videos here. It's just not going to be as frequent. I always love a good story time. There's so many things sometimes when I just want to unwind away from work and writing and things like that. I'll watch videos and I do think of my audience here on Just Angelica J, and I go, ooh, I need to talk about that. So I do have some stuff that I might be able to film at some point. Oh, there's a lot of noise outside. But for right now, that's kind of why I have not been posting frequently. I know some of you were kind enough to check in and say, hey, are you going to post and stuff like that? And I feel bad, but I really am being pulled in a lot of directions, especially, on the personal front. But as far as like creatively, I am writing. And actually, I'm on 18 chapters. I'm over 60,000 words. So from what I understand, that's already like novel status. So I guess, and I'm kind of halfway through the book. So it's going to be, I guess, a novel, a dark romance novel. But it's something that I've been working on for years, just kind of like coming up with ideas. But I'm really excited that it's now kind of coming to life. Now I get to see all these ideas and things that I created for this like fictional world of characters. And I'm just really excited to, publish and present it to whoever is interested in that. So be on the lookout for that. I might touch base every now and again here. But when I get other stuff set up for my pen name and for that part of my life, I will let you know here for those of you that want to join me on that journey. Because I know some of you that follow me here are strictly interested in the story time and spooky stuff or just funny stuff or just about my life. And that's another thing. This channel, I think spooky stories is always fun, but this channel was always just to be a channel of like vlogging life and whatnot. So sometimes it's a spooky story, sometimes it's a personal story, sometimes it's like, what are we doing? Like things that are trending on social media. So there's that. But thank you if you made it this far in the video. Also, I just want to say thank you for those of you that are just still there, that are still present on this channel. I hope this year, it was a rough start at the end of last year and a rough start for this year, but hopefully, things get better. I hope everyone is doing well, everyone's being safe, and I guess we're coming out of the winter months for most of us, or at least where I'm at. So I was going to say, I hope everyone's staying warm, but at this point, the weather is warming up, and I just hope everyone's staying safe because spring is almost upon us, and for a lot of people it could be tornado, stormy season, stormy weather, so we got to brace for that. But anywho, I hope everyone has a great evening, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.